I'm sure you sat there and watched video after video after video about how you could be easily making 10K a month. You just have to do this, you just have to do that. This 21-year-old is already a millionaire, and it's left you feeling like you're somehow falling behind because everyone else online seems like they're winning and you're not, and you could be doing better. And I myself am not immune to these thoughts and feelings. However, something clicked recently for me after watching a video from Matt D'Avella. He interviewed this guy called Jason Zuck, and they started talking about this concept of striving for enough.
When you look online at the creator economy today, it seems like everybody's obsessed with scaling and growing, making as much money as possible. Why do you think that is the status quo today? We don't see anybody really talking about growing sustainably and growing slowly and maybe not trying to hire an employee as quickly as you can. Like, why are people obsessed with growth?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to just these like super arbitrary milestones that have been set, making $1 million, having a team, having these like big successful sales or launches or releases. And I think that's what gets talked about, right? The Twitter threads of like, oh, here's how I did this in like 63 days and made blah, 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 whatever. Like that goes viral. And so people are like, oh, well, that looks good. No one wants to talk about the people that are just striving for enough, the people that are just striving for calm businesses, the people that are just striving to like wake up every day, not hate whatever work they're doing and not have to pretend that they like it. I don't need to do what Ali Abdaal does, or I don't need to do what like any of these other like amazing entrepreneurs do that, to their credit, are very good at what they do and they accomplish a lot that looks great on paper. But like, are they happy? Do they really like that work? Do they like having a big team, managing people? There's this idea of that's what things should look like, but then in the reality, when you actually go through that in your business or in your life, it's not that much fun and it's not that rewarding, and you kind of go, I wish things were just like a little bit simpler and quieter, and like I didn't have all these like gigantic goals that I don't even really want for my life.
And this hit me really hard because, as Jason said, we're living in this kind of digital world where everybody's shouting about what you should be doing as an online creator, how you should be monetizing, building out a business, all of these revenue streams. And you know, I've sat back and thought, what is enough for me? Enough for me is the freedom to wake up and do what I want, when I want, and focus on the skills that I genuinely enjoy. It's not about building this mega empire and chasing a huge bank balance. It's about living a life that just feels right for me and is enough. And it's taken me a time to kind of get to this point and adopt this like mindset shift. Earlier on in the year, I had a virtual assistant. I started to work with some editors, and I tried to go all in on growth across the business because that's what everybody was saying I was doing. That was the way to success. But then deep down, I realized I don't like this. I don't really like managing people. I don't like building out a team. I don't like having all of this extra responsibility that I'm not used to having. The only responsibility I have at the moment is me. And I quite like that, and I'd like to keep it that way. And I found myself wondering, you know, should I push harder for the things that bring me more money right now, or focus on what I love and trust that success will follow over the long term? Because for me, I don't want to get bogged down doing things I don't enjoy just for the sake of growth and extra money. I don't think that's going to make me happier. And then I had this epiphany. I said, what if I just focus on getting really good at making videos? Not because of monetization, not to build some giant brand, but simply because I love making videos, and it's also one of the top 5 hard skills you can develop and learn right now in the world, in my opinion. Because video is the currency of the internet right now. It's only getting more valuable, and if you think about it, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever platform comes next, the fundamental skills of making videos, visual storytelling, you know, engaging people through the way that you speak will always matter. So while everyone around me seems to be rushing to build teams, outsource, launch multiple products, scale everything to the moon, I'm choosing to strip things back, focus on mastery, trusting the process, and figuring out what do I enjoy doing that's going to bring me long-term value. And an example of this is something I did last week. I decided to make an intro to a video that I'd never done before. I spent 5 hours making a 10-second intro to a short, and this is it. Making videos is hard. You've got the idea, the script, the camera, the mic, the lights, the recording, the editing. It just never ends. So here are 5 unbelievably valuable videos from 5 incredible creators that are going to teach you everything you need to know about making good videos. Now, most people would look at that who are more business focused and would go, that is a waste of time. That is a horrible use of time. You should be spending it more wisely. You should be outsourcing that to somebody else. But you know what? It felt right. It felt like I progressed in developing a certain part of my skill set within video editing and making visual storytelling. And yes, it was only 10 seconds and it took me 5 hours, but I felt I learned a lot more than I would have done if I just outsourced that to somebody else. And if I keep on doing this and keep on doing this and keep on doing this over time, I will become so good at making videos. And that's what I want. But of course, like, the pressure is still there, you know. Every day there's people saying you should have a paid community, you should start a newsletter. And I think the problem is that, you know, the creator ecosystem economy is now full of people that are not just creating to create, they're creating to make money. I can tell when a creator is just purely creating to make money straight away. Like, they just start selling straight away. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that route, but it's just sad to see the industry changing so much where, you know, a lot of people are just in it for the money rather than just like because they're passionate about creating. But it shows, it shines through. I question the sustainability of those people, and they'll probably just move on to the next thing, you know, when creating content isn't really the big thing anymore, you know. But I just want to do what I enjoy. And sure, you know, I could make a hell of a lot more money now. I could start outsourcing the things I don't enjoy, which is what people keep telling me. But, you know, that still comes with, you know, the pressure and stress of managing the outsourcing, managing the people. You know, that costs me more money and this, Y, and Z. And, you know, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. However, I won't lie. I did actually give in to the pressure around 6 months ago, and I built this little video series on how to never run out of ideas, but I've just not been asked to like package it up and sell it. It just didn't feel right for me, but it's there, it's right there, and I've done it. And so if you've got this far in the video, here's a little treat for you. The link to the series is right at the bottom of the description of this video, and you can go and use it, watch it for free. You can make a donation if you want to, but right now it's completely free, and I'm going to make it free up to December the 1st. And I would love to get some feedback on this and tell me whether you think it's valuable, whether you think it's worth paying for, because I've been super apprehensive about it because of the fact that I've wanted to just strip back and get better at what I love and focus on storytelling rather than going down a more creator business focused route that is just selling, because to me, I feel like that will just naturally fall into place over time. And when I find the revenue streams that I really enjoy doubling down on, that's what I'll double down on. You know, there are so many revenue streams as a creator. There's almost too many, you know, there's 10 to 15, and you don't have to win in all of them. What I've realized, despite everybody saying, you know, how easy it is to do this, how easy it is to do that. And so before I go, I just want to leave you with one thought around doubling down on making videos, right? Imagine you commit to making videos for the next 5 years. You know, every week you make a video, or every other week, like you have some level of consistency over the next 5 years. Do you think you will make it? Do you think you will be good enough? Of course you will. Of course you will. You'd have to be so stupid to have made 5 videos for 5 years consistently and putting in the work that I said you need to put in and still not make it. And if you've been making videos for 5 years and still haven't made it, I would question how much time you're putting into actually learning how to make better videos. It's not just about just making videos. There's all of these bits in the between. You have to actually learn how to get better and really just focus on, where the opportunities are. But, ask yourself this, if you've just started making videos in the last 6 months, if you do what you've been doing for the last 6 months for another 5 years, will you be successful? Of course you will. Of course you will be successful, and we don't know what the future holds for content creation and what the next big thing will be. There's AI everywhere now, and will it become easier to create content? Yes. Will the core skills remain the same? Yes, they still do matter. So you still want to focus on those things, because people often say like, oh yeah, Ben, are you scared about the potential that someone could just press a button and they can create content just as good as yours? I said, I'm not scared of that, because if that day comes, I would have figured out how to leverage that AI tool and system way beyond everyone else, and I'll be 100 levels ahead. It's the important thing here of all these AI tools. Yes, they are going to reduce the barrier to entry, but the core skills remain the same. And there's nothing to say that you can't also use the AI skills to be using them in a way that the people at the bottom are just not even thinking about. And that's how you stay ahead. And if you keep staying with it and keep sort of like immersing yourself in the ecosystem, being aware of what's around you, aware of the tools that can help level up your kind of process, make it quicker, easier and better, you will hopefully start to fall in love with it. You will start to trust it. And this will lead you down a path and a finish line where you're meant to be.